I've been accused of being a witch before, which is amusing. I don't have any magical powers. I simply have an unusual appearance. Hello again, I'm Ash Mannix, and I'm once again playing the house in Fata Morgana. Been a while, I think it's been a couple of weeks. Since I last played, since I think I queued up two parts of the playthrough in one go last time I played. But man, I've forgotten, almost forgotten everything that happened. Met a maid, got taken to the past, met some characters. Don't know if we're playing our young self. We're playing, or we're seeing two young, rich kids reaching adulthood, and then a mysterious girl has entered to train as a maid from another rich family whose father died on the journey, essentially. I don't think I have any extra. I think that's the general summary. A really bad summary. I'd recommend you watch the first two episodes before watching this anyway. Um, but yeah, let's just get into it. I forgot what voices I gave him as well. I mean, I didn't really change my voice. Not good, so shouldn't be too hard. Is this gonna read? Do I have to load? All right, no. Let me. I. What could he do? I've restarted the game somehow by accident, or maybe it didn't save it. Let's see if I can skip through all this. Wait, wait. Here we go. Let's go back to load. Yeah, 2nd of April sounds about right. Yes. Oh, I was worried there. Steam had said that it couldn't sync with the cloud backups or the cloud saves when I started this game initially, and I was like, what? You've not lost my save, I've not corrupted something, have I? Yes, I haven't. Ah, this is a character Mell. Oof, this desktop audio's a bit loud. I'll lower it a bit. Backgrounds 14. I think 14 too. Yeah. Cool. I will switch screens. No avatar. You don't have to see my face. Oh, my avatar. See. You have my thanks, Father. And I apologise for being late today. Now there's something unusual. You not being punctual. Maybe next we'll go a whole month without rain. Do have mercy on next year's crops, Mell. You hyperbolize, Father. So, did something nice happen? Huh? You look like you're in good spirits. Do I? No, nothing. Something did happen, didn't it? It's all over my face, isn't it? People prefer an open book to a face of stone. Though it is. People may prefer it, but it's not a good trait to have for social engagement. What? Not the kind of engagement you'll be having anyway. I'm sorry. Don't look so dejected. For now, at least, there's nothing wrong with that. So tell me, what has you in such a joyous mood, Mell? You torment me so, Father. You've taken on another maid. You know how that goes, right? Someone new comes and things get lively for a while. All the excitement has gotten to me. That's all. Things get lively for a while. Even yeah, that's what this is. Oh, Why are you looking at me like that? No reason. No reason. So, what family does the little lady come from? Oh, I don't actually know. You don't know? I was going to ask her, but I missed my chance. Father has returned home, and I can't speak to Mother. I see. She's caught your eye, has she? Yes. Yeah, she has. But the truth is, you're more than just interested in her, are you not? What? No, I... You truly do enjoy tormenting me. Well, I should be getting home now. Mell. Yes? Make certain you find out where she's from. If you're genuinely interested in her, it's your responsibility to determine if she's actually suitable for you. Thank you, and excuse me. Oof. Doesn't matter if she's from an esteemed family or not. No, I'm not in love with her. I'm just interested. This isn't love, no. It's infatuation, my friend, infatuation. It couldn't be. This is me we're talking about. I am a machine. Besides, I hardly even know her. Young sire, blessed young sire, alms for the poor. Same beggar as before. Don't think he's moved since then. But he looks skinnier than last time. Going to have trouble making it through the summer. Should give him something while I still have the chance. Alms for the poor, have mercy. Sorry, but this is all I have to give you. Ah, thank you very much. Blessings upon you. May the Lord bless your soul, young sire. Thanks. Feel bad for him. That's just the way of the world. Farewell. The skies are really clear. The sun shone fiercely down on the town that day. As was characteristic of the area, cloudy days and rain were frequent during the season, but the sun almost always took the stage the day after a storm. The cathedral standing tall in the centre of town, the stone-paved streets clacking with the pleasant sound of footsteps, people peering out from beneath awnings to look up at the sky. In Mell's eyes, it was as if they were all blessed by a divine light. However, not everyone living in the same land was equally blessed. In fact, the blessed were far outnumbered by the forsaken, even if their time would later come to be referred to as the Golden Age. Elsewhere, back at the mansion, Nellie was causing trouble for the Abigails. On a whim, she had decided to redecorate her bedchamber, so she gathered the maids and put them to work, shouting orders and demands and complaints. And she had not summoned only her personal servants, but others as well, including the white-haired girl. No, not like that. How many times must I tell you? Tapestry goes by the door, and I don't like the carpet's pattern. Is there anything else we can change it with? Hey, who put this ugly vase here? Nellie appeared to be rather irritated, and it was the servants who bore the brunt of her frustration. Though if they found this similarly vexing, none of them showed it. She was a girl who spoke her mind, a trait particular to that time in history. Yeah, a trait particular to people who are freaking well-to-do and could had servants to and maids to freaking unleash their horrible parts of their personality onto. Women of the Golden Age were so vivacious, in fact, that it inspired parody and satire in foreign countries. Okay, but no matter how hands-off her parents were, had Nellie been born a generation earlier or a generation later, she likely would not have been able to act so free-spirited. What? She wouldn't have been able to act like such an ass. That day, however, Nellie did not seem to be her usual self. Though she always spoke her mind, it really went beyond being childishly adorable. Oh. It was unusual to see her in such a foul mood, not even a smile on her face. Ugh, get rid of all of it. The carpet, that chair, the desk, it's all so ugly. Don't we have anything better? If we don't, then order it. Have it made. You can do that much, can't you? Hurry up and replace them. Having only arrived that morning, the white-haired girl was unsure what she was supposed to be doing, caught in the middle of a flurry of maids and furniture and fabric. She chased frantically, scrambling Abigail's with her eyes and made attempts to help, but not being familiar with the work, she only ended up getting in their way. She probably felt that everyone would be better off with her not in the room. So when the maids ordered to get new furniture made, their way out of Nellie's room, she attempted to follow them. You hold on a second. You. Yes, you, with the white hair. However, Nellie stopped her before she could take her leave. What? The white-haired girl turned back, bewildered, to find Nellie smiling at her. The corners of her mouth turned up into a self-assured grin. There was no trace of timidity or uncertainty in her demeanour. Her flaxen eyes seemed like they would look nice under the light of the sun. Almost the exact opposite of the white-haired girl. I wanted to talk to you, actually, but Mother never was one to share. I asked her to trade maids, but she wouldn't have it. Trade? You mean for... Which is why I decided to completely redecorate my room, because then I would need some extra hands. That's why. Because Mother and Father refused to tell me anything. Why is that? Who are you exactly? Where did you come from? Tell me, what house are you from? Why can't you tell me? If we took you in, you must be from a fairly decent family. As a member of the Rhodes family, I have a right to know. Do I not? You can't expect me to welcome a girl into my home who won't even tell me where she came from. I don't know anything about you. I haven't seen you at any parties. I came from another country. Another country? What country? Somewhere very, very far away. Oh? North of here? East? West? South? South. It's south of here. Across the sea to get here. Which is why we have never met before. How far did you have to travel then? How many times did the sun rise, and how many stormy nights did you face? Innumerable days and nights we sailed, heading ever further north. Huh? So tell me. Ah, Lady Nellie. This is a most wonderful painting. You just tried to brush me off. I won't let her get away with that easy. Painting? It's in my room, so of course it's wonderful. That one's especially so. You're both so adorable. You, Lady Nellie, and Lord Mell. How old were you when it was painted? Huh? Ah, that painting. Goodness, yes, you have a good eye for art. It is magnificent, isn't it? This was done when I was 4 and Mel was 7. Wait, so she's 4 and Mel is 7, so 3-year age gap. What is she, 14, he's 17 just now? You see how we're standing next to each other, holding hands? Yes, that's what siblings do. I was too young to remember it very well, but Mel looks like he was really embarrassed. But standing there like statues makes for a boring painting. Mel explained brightly. Having completely forgotten she was pressed up against the white-haired girl, did a little twirl, stopping to face the portrait. Though many paintings lined the walls of her room, Nellie was most fond of the one of her and her brother. Two darling siblings standing side by side, the older brother smiling kindly and the younger sister sweetly tilting her head, her cheeks the colour of fresh picked apples. It was like the very embodiment of their happiness. A painting lays its subjects bare, fortune and misfortune, happiness and sorrow, enshrined on canvas for all to see. And this reflection is not merely limited to the point in time it was made either. Did you know, Master, that paintings are alive? They are drawn with a brush over an extended stretch of time, Unlike photographs, which capture a single moment or a singular moment, the two have their own individual merits, but a photograph is still, while a painting moves. Portraits reveal both the past and the present state of those they depict. Mel and I have always been close. I would sing songs for him, and he would teach me all about all sorts of things. He's so smart. Nowadays, Mel hardly even goes on walks with me, making excuses like, I'm an adult now. But we used to spend a lot of time playing together in the rose garden. I see. The white-haired girl normally had difficulty smiling, but her lips naturally curved upwards as Nellie reminisced. A vision of the two happy siblings had probably swelled up in her mind, and I imagine there was a faint trace of envy in her heart as well. Lady Nellie, you love Lord Mell quite deeply, I see. Yes, of course I do. Mel's smart and he's studious and he's incredibly kind. For my birthday, he gave me this wonderful rose necklace. The jewellery shop you got it from is famous because even the royal family makes commissions from their workshop. So you had to have it ordered months in advance. Just for me. He's a prince. Oh? He's pretty charming, wouldn't you say? That's why I call him my prince. But you know what? Mel is a terrible dancer, and he still hasn't got his feet on the ground yet, and he's so bad at interacting with girls. So there's no one else who would say that about him. He is quite the gentleman. I assumed women would be drawn to him. Gentleman? Have you met Mel already? This morning, briefly. It reminds me, Mel seemed to know about her too. What do you think about Mel? As I said, he is a gentleman. That's not what I mean. Don't think I'll let you get away with putting any funny ideas in his head. What? Mel is too trusting, he's pure of heart, so I won't stand for you trying to take advantage of him. I would never. So you say, but you actually want to get close to him. I wouldn't dream of it, Lady Nellie. He is a man far beyond my reach. You aren't planning on doing anything, are you? Not at all. And you don't have any romantic feelings for him, do you? What? Well, do you? I have no romantic feelings for him, Lady Nellie. And you won't develop any? Damn, man, this girl. I will not. And with that, Nellie gave a wide, satisfied grin that she had basically blocked her. Cock-blocked her brother. What the hell, man? He's mine! Even though one has no way of knowing how another truly feels, or how they might in the future. You wouldn't, would you? Now that I think about it, there are plenty of other boys. You getting together with Mel is downright absurd. Indeed. But anyway, back to what we were talking about earlier. Your family. I almost forgot. You haven't told me exactly where you came from, or anything about your... Lady Nellie, I've brought a new carpet. Just look at the embroidery. The work of a true artisan. I'm simply in love with it. Surely you will find it to your liking as well. Wow, you're right. That's a Florentine stitch, isn't it? I wonder whether someone mimicked the style or if it was imported. Either way, a great find. Let's hurry up and get it laid out. Oh, and we'll have to see how the colours go with everything else. You have to finish redecorating quickly so I can show Mel. He'll be so surprised. What wonderful taste you have, Nellie. When the other Abigails returned, so too did the bustle within Nellie's room. As the white-haired girl watched, a faint smile crossed her lips. Perhaps it was from relief at having escaped Nellie's inquisition. Or perhaps... Ah, Nellie, I'm back. Did you eat something you're not supposed to, dearest Mel? You're unusually cheerful. I'm the same as always. Anyway, Never mind that, dearest Mell. Take a look at my room. I redecorated it today. Well, that's what you've been doing, hiding away in the house all day. Nelly? How is that any different than what you were doing? You were in the church all day. I guess. I'll look at your room, I promise, but first, do you know where the new maid is? Now, don't get any strange ideas. I just haven't yet had the chance to introduce myself, and I thought I should as a member of the family. Except you have, I don't. Being the eldest son, it would be shameful if she were to pass me in the halls not even knowing who I am, so... Don't ask me. What? But you were in the house all day. She attends to mother, so why would I know where she is? Though she did help redecorate my room. You made her help? That's work for the men servants. There was no reason to make the maids do it. Oh, so you're saying I should invite a bunch of men into my room? I go into your room all the time, Nelly, and you were in my bedchamber just this morning. Only one man is allowed in my bedroom, dear Mell. That is you. Not even Daddy. So unless you become a servant, which I will not stand for, I will not ask any of them for help. Oh, Nelly, you ought to be a little more... A little more what? If you're going to lecture me, I won't hear it. What am I going to do with you, my little lady? What? What? Why are you looking at me like that? We talked about you, dearest Mell, and I'm not going to tell you what she said. About me? What did she say? Please, Nelly. She said she has no romantic interest in you. Why did that even come up? It's a good question. Because we're both girls. We talked about things like that kind of, like what kind of boys we like and who's the most handsome. Why do you look so downtrodden, dearest Mell? You look like a sad little boy who can't get his crush to notice him. That face is unbecoming of a prince, Mell. You interested her? That's strange. You haven't even met. I am not. It's just depressing to find out that someone you've never even met doesn't like you. That's all. What? If I'm going to make my move, I must do so soon. What? What move? Don't have much time. The master of the house isn't around, so next in line would be him. What the fuck? What is going on here? A painting. Oh. Oh, a little kinda a break. Despite his near devastation by Nellie's news, Mell's flaxen eyes continued to wander in hopes of catching sight of the girl. Ah, to be young and in love. By now it should be quite obvious to you what Mell was feeling, but the boy himself was having difficulty comprehending the things going through his heart. Emotionally, he was horribly unstable, like a ship without a sail. And still, every time he spotted the white-haired girl, heart would leap, whole body jitter with anxiety and excitement. That's kind of cute. He had never felt anything like this before, and as such, he struggled to keep these strange emotions in check. Whenever he saw an opportunity, Mell would speak to the white-haired girl. On days he was unable to, he either spent in secluded silence or a distracted daze. Love is a curious thing. It has the power to change those who experience it. When he did manage to approach her, he tripped over his tongue. Again and again he talked to her, and again he stumbled. I imagine if you were to take him to see a romance at the theatre in his present state, he would cry just as much as little Nelly. We cry at tragedies because we draw parallels with our own lives. At least, that is what I think. Great tales of romance attain true gravity with the audience only when they are personally familiar with love. Oh, right, okay, so I won't have any familiarity with these. In any event, the white-haired girl was, as a result of this, visibly perturbed. She was delighted that he was being so kind to her, but confusion overpowered every other emotion. He appeared to be at a loss for what to do as he clumsily catapulted words and stares at her. But Mell did not back down, though he probably knew not what caused such fiery emotion to erupt from within his breast. One's first love, in particular, tends to burn like a wildfire. Are you familiar with the sensation, Master? No, I'm not. Oh? Don't know. Don't know. That was an interesting reaction. Ah, there she is. She cleaning. Oh, looks like she's reading. It's now or never. I'm just gonna stand very close to you, uncomfortably close. Boo! Ah. sorry. I didn't mean to scare you, even though I went up right behind you without you seeing me. I went boo. Lord Mell, you very clearly meant to scare me. Because you just wouldn't notice me. What are you reading? You looked pretty engrossed. Oh, I'm sorry. I should have asked for permission. It's fine. No need to apologise. Feel free to read whatever you want, and you're welcome to bring books back to your room if you'd like to spend more time with them. But I was just amazed the mansion had a library. It must have been a lot of work to collect all these books. There are some pretty old books in here too. Your grandfather's? Some that he collected, and some even older than that. Take a look at this. I think it's a diary, but it's not from this country. Or this century, for that matter. Maybe a feudal lord. Here, he's complaining about the quality of the harvest. Can this forsaken land only produce over sour grapes? Ah, if only the largest of the Barney, or maybe Barnier. Only the largest of the Barnier estates were mine instead. The land there is much more suitable to cultivation. There you have it. Read this, Lord Mell. More or less. I've looked over it several times already, so that wasn't too difficult. Why would such an old book be here? I'm not sure. It and all of this was already here when I moved into the mansion. Have you not lived here your whole life? I was born at our estate, but to me and Nellie, this is more like our home. We moved when I was still young, and we've lived here ever since. Nellie and Mother have both grown quite fond of it. Father, though, often goes back to the house because he doesn't like all the roses. By himself? Yeah, well, sometimes Mother goes with him. You know, I have found that quite odd that their dad, goes back to their original home on his own often without anyone else. And knowing that, other people don't seem to go with him. I wonder if that's going to be a thing. But for the most part, he goes alone. Don't get me wrong, it's not because they don't get along. In fact, they act more like teenagers in love than grown adults. It almost makes me sick having to watch it. It is a wonderful thing to be so close, no matter how old they may be. True, but still, there are those in the world who cannot be with the ones that they care for, as much as they wish. I'm sorry about that. Oh, that's right, the book. What were you reading? I wasn't exactly reading. I do not enjoy reading lots of texts, so I was looking at the pictures. Is that so? You seem very cultured, so I thought you'd be partial to reading. Perhaps you're actually more like Nellie and eschew your studies. Yes, let's go with that. I wouldn't have guessed. But you like looking at pictures. I do. What else do you like? Do you like me? What? What do you enjoy doing? It can be anything. I enjoy being told stories. Stories? Yes. When I was young, my father would tell me tales. What kind of stories did you like? There was one about an imprisoned girl. Tell it to me. Oh, story time. Once there was a girl, and she was locked away in a mansion deep in the forest. A mansion with only one window. But the window sat high upon the wall, far beyond her reach, so it was always very dark inside, unlike this mansion. However, the girl did not like the outside world. There were lots of scary things out there, after all. Though she may have been all alone in the mansion, she grew comfortable with the darkness in time, so she had nothing to be afraid of. And then, am I doing a good job? You're doing fine, keep going. What happens next? Okay. And then the girl grew up. By then, she had already forgotten why she was locked up, but she was content with the darkness. However, her eyes couldn't help but be drawn to the little bit of light that spilled through that one window. Though she was comfortable in the darkness, the sight of the light made her heart race. At first, the girl thought it was because she found it unpleasant, because she disliked the light and the outside. But slowly she came to realise she was curious about the outside world. What could be happening out there? For all she knew, the town, the forest, the people, all of it could have changed while she was imprisoned in the mansion. But she had no way of finding out. So the girl decided to write letters and throw them out the window. What began as empty grasping became routine, continuing for several months until she was finally ready to give up. But then, a beautiful white dove flew in through the window. Tied to the dove's leg was a letter. Her heart racing, she read the words contained within. It seemed to have been written by a man. The letter contained numerous questions for the girl. It also said that if she attached a reply to the dove, it would bring the letter back to him. She was astonished. She wrote him back anyway, taking care not to mention where she was. After having exchanged letters a number of times, the two felt very close to one another, as though they had known each other for many years, despite having never met. And eventually, man said he wanted to meet her. Indeed. The girl wasn't sure what to do. Should she tell him of how she lived? Should she reveal where she spent her days? She was afraid if she did, he would cease to send her letters. She was sure he believed her to be a young lady of noble blood, and not a girl locked away in a house deep in the forest. The girl could not bring herself to write a response. She released the dove through the window with nothing attached to its leg. And yet, it returned with another letter, written in the man's familiar hand. You must surely have a grave reason for your silence, it said. I would like to know that reason, and I'd like to help you. No matter what it may be, you have my word. She deliberated. Though his letters were kind, she did not know this man. He was from outside. Would he still treat her the same way when he met her? And did she even want to step out into the world beyond? What do you think she did? Wrote a letter and agreed to meet him, right? Yes, did. The girl made up her mind she would write a letter. As always, when she tied it to the dove's leg, it flew off out the window, and for some time after that, she received no response from the man. This saddened her, but she thought it was for the best. She belonged in her own confined world, her world of darkness. But then one day, light shone into the mansion. The sealed door had been opened, and in the doorway stood a handsome young man. What are the odds, right? You're sending letters to a random person. What are the odds that they're going to be some handsome young man? Could have been like some ugly old dude. Couldn't let me, brr, just appearing in the door. I suppose this is a story, though. I have come for you, he said. The man was a prince from a neighbouring kingdom. When the girl stepped outside, before her sat a magnificent carriage, the likes of which she had never before seen, accompanied by many servants. The prince, kind as in the letters, swore his love to her. And the two lived happily ever after. Ah, what a nice story. Ah, what? My exact words. What a nice story. I'm glad it had a happy ending. A prince. Was there something funny about the story? No, that's not why I was laughing. Do you ever imagine what it'd be like if a prince showed up for you? Huh? It doesn't have to be a real prince, even just someone like one. Is that something you dream about? Oh, sorry. It doesn't have to be a real prince, even just someone like one. Is that something you dream about? Oh no, I think I'm perhaps a little too old for that. You think so? Nellie still fantasizes about her prince, and she's 14. I just assumed all girls were the same. Lady Nellie's prince. That's you, Lord Mell, no? What? Yeah, she knows. Is it not? I mean, we used to play make-believe a lot when we were kids, but I very much doubt she still thinks of me that way in earnest. When she calls me her prince now, it's mostly in jest. Ooh, this guy doesn't have a clue. If it weren't, that would be concerning. That's why you're ignoring it. That's why you're pretending. She's not being serious. Oh? That story. Do you know if it's a regional tale? One that's been passed down through the ages? I am not sure. It could very well be one of my father's own creation. You might think me conceited, but I think the story might be about me. The girl trapped in the mansion is you? You haven't been locked up anywhere before, have you? No, thankfully. I've never been locked up before. Thank goodness. Wait, you've never been locked up before, but we haven't come across the... asked you if you've been stuck in a dark place most of your life. I mean, you have the super pale skin. Makes me wonder. But with an appearance like mine, I can sympathise with her being afraid of the outside world. I have, at times, imagined how wonderful life would be if it were only me and my father. But the girl left in the house. But the girl left the house in the end. If your father really wrote that story, then I believe it contains his hope for you to end up the same way. Oh? I don't have what it takes to be a real prince and whisk you away, but I can at least pretend. Yes, pretend. So if it was your father's wish for you to see the outside world, then surely there's nothing wrong with you getting out and experiencing all the scenery that the world has to offer. I want to see the outside too. Or to be more specific, other countries. So, if you'd like, we could go out on an extremely extravagant date around the world. Could maybe go see distant lands together? Ah, just in time. Ah, dearest Mell, I've been looking all over for you. Nelly, you've totally cock-blocked me once again. Look at this, dearest Mell. Mother brought me these wonderful gloves to wear on walks. The rose embroidered on the wrists are just precious. My, you're right. They are beautiful. You appear to be dizzy, Lord Mell. Are you feeling unwell? No, I'm fine. My sister's just got this weird bro complex. Mel was feeling frustrated at his inability to convey his feelings to her. And as his frustration built up over time, he developed, I suppose you could call it a severe case of lovesickness. For several consecutive nights he had been afflicted with a peculiar sensation, a presence in his bedchamber. Okay. Death. What? Death to the unholy one. Death to the heretic. Death to the witch. Oh dear. Killed. A man's voice. She's. Why, I never wanted her to die. Was she not eating? Seal off the tower. Understood. No one finds out about this. How can you be so calm? Don't you understand what you've done? Ha! Pinning the blame on me? How nice it must be to be able to distort reality with panic. You're just as guilty as any of us. I never wanted her to die. Wow. The witch killed her. The blood of the witch killed my his daughter? The blood of the witch killed my potentially daughter? Ugh. Ah, that was a horrible nightmare. A dream? What was that dream? It was horribly unsettling. I was holding someone, a girl I cared for dearly, in my arms, and she was limp. It was almost as if she were dead. Been having a lot of really unpleasant dreams lately. Can't stop shaking. Why would I have such a dream? Feel sick. Back to sleep. Yes, let's go back to that horrible dream. I wonder, who was that girl? I can sense someone standing beyond my door. Is someone there? Like they're watching me. It's just my imagination. I can't move. What? What do you want? Go away. The sound is growing fainter. Wonder if that was the white-haired girl or the maid. The maid's shifty. Is that truly what your story meant? Father. But such a magnificent garden. Something we could never have had. Are my intentions misguided? What a beautiful white rose. You know, you could have sneaked into his room rather easily then. No one was watching. How long have you? Oh, you didn't pay me any mind. I shall not condemn you, no matter what you might do. Rather, I am on your side. What is this maid up to? She's like shifty, and apparently she's been here since her Mell's grandfather's time as well. I mean, she's the first person we met when we woke up again from probably dying, and she's guiding us through this whole story. She's shifty as hell, man. What is she up to? What's this girl up to? I was not going to do anything. Oh, is that so? Then perhaps you are out for a late night stroll. I imagine you have less difficulties going outside at night. Beg your pardon. I will return to the mansion immediately. Oh yes, that reminds me. It was also the middle of the night when the grocer's servant broke into their safe. What's the middle of the night when the grocer's servant broke? Hey. News of that spread quite far. I'm sure you would have heard about it. Oh? Although, was Gamash imprisoned? Dear me, I am having trouble remembering. But worry not, if you wish for it, the mansion shall provide. You are in no danger whatsoever of getting caught. Wait, so she stole from a grocer's? Oh, well, I mean, she might have stolen, she needed food. But, ooh, what is she? I suspected she's a vampire. Is she a vampire? Is this what she is? Aye. You said that a witch lives in the mansion, did you not? I did. Does that sound perhaps a bit archaic to you? No. I believe those rumors mockingly refer to me. Oh. Oh my. I've been accused of being a witch before, which is amusing. I don't have any magical powers. I simply have an unusual appearance. Wait, what was that last bit? Sorry about that little break. What was saying? I've been accused of being a witch before, which is amusing. I don't have any magical powers. I simply have an unusual appearance. I mean, you definitely do, especially with the red eyes. My lovely shade of red. Wait a minute. Did that? You had a white rose. Why is it red now? My, what a lovely shade of red. The rose. Is something the matter? Rose. Rose was white. Until I took it in my hand. Is that so? I apologise. I must sound mad. I'm sure I was just mistaken. It couldn't possibly have changed. I wonder. Yes? Did the girl locked in the mansion become a princess? What? We should lock up and head to bed. Make sure all of the shutters are closed nice and tight, and then draw the bar on the front door. Why did that rose change? Ooh, mysterious. What's going on here? Like, clearly there's something up with the girl. She might, I mean, maybe she's not a vampire. Maybe it's just, she's got a weird appearance and everyone accuses her of being one, and she gets persecuted for it, because this is like back in the day where people were extremely unfriendly to people that looked weird or had super pale skin, especially her ruby eyes. Slowly but surely, time trekked onward, everyone working toward their own individual goals. Each early summer breeze that blew through the garden was like God's hallowed breath, carrying the flowers' fragrance in through Rose Manor's windows. If only time could be stopped, and this beautiful era made to live on through eternity. As usual, Mell's eyes chased after the white-haired girl, and Nellie pursed her lips in frustration at him. But she was still rather docile. Even taking into account how self-centered she behaved, how fickle her temper, Nellie's fits were still no worse than a playful kitten. At that very moment, our lively little feline had her claws poised to swat at the flaxen-haired young man. Mell, you promised me, or have you forgotten? I haven't forgotten, I'm just asking if you can go another day. Another day? This isn't something that happens every day. I've been looking forward to tonight's performance for so long. There's nothing I can do about that. Oops, there's nothing I can do about that. We're having a gathering at the priest's home tonight. Several high-ranking officials have come up from the mainland just for this. Who cares? I care. You know, Nellie, it doesn't have to be me who goes with you. No, I want to go with you, Mell. You've been so distant lately, dearest Mell. You refuse to do anything with me. That's not true. Tell me, if you can't go today, when can you? When will you be willing to go out with me? When will you be willing to play cards with me? Have tea together? I can't make any promises. Ha 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 ha, giving her the cold shoulder. I have things to do, obligations, excuses. And Nellie, you're almost an adult yourself. Stop acting like such a child. Ooh, this is gonna not end well. I'm not an adult yet. I'm still a kid. If it means I don't get to play with you anymore, dearest Mell, then I don't want to be an adult. Nellie, you can't. Lady Nellie, the master wishes to speak with you. Oh, that's... Huh? Father does? What could he want? Go on, Nellie. You can't make Father wait. He's very particular about people keeping their appointments. Yes, he is. Unlike you, dearest Mell. Oof. What's got her in such a foul mood? Well, I mean, you're just like giving her the cold shoulder, and even though she's got like a brother complex, like normally if you were doing that to any sibling, that'd be pretty annoying. You're being unreliable, man. What the hell? Oh, the dodgy maid. Oh, thank goodness for my small miracles. Nellie just won't seem to take me at my word lately. You mustn't be so harsh on her. She is your one and only darling little sister. You're right, but still, she's taken it a bit too far of late. Oh, I'm not so sure. He does not seem to be behaving any differently to me. Am I the one acting differently then? Are we gaslighting this guy? Well, enough about that. Can I ask you a favour? Me? What can I do for you? I was thinking. Physically, Mell was undeniably a young man, but the smirk that crossed his lips as he schemed gave his face the sweet look of a little boy. Or perhaps that was simply part of his charm, and it was not the age disparity but his character that made his smile so heartwarming. What did he ask of me? You shall find out soon enough. It's cloudy. And thank goodness for that too. Though it would have been better if it were even darker out. I believe the textile shop was around here. Ah. Hi there. Lord Mell, fancy meeting you here. Yeah, what a surprise. It's not like I planned this. So, what do you say we take this chance and go for a little walk? Let me just take you away from the chore that you've been asked to do, and you'll probably get in trouble for if you don't do it, and just go for a little walk. It'll be fine. Since you're sensitive to the sunlight, we can keep our eyes out for shadowy areas as we go. And if you feel unwell, just let me know. I was sent out to run an errand. Don't worry about that. Come on, follow me. I'm sorry. It actually wasn't an accident that we crossed paths. Oh, what a surprise. I planned this out ahead of time. Asked to have you sent out on a fake errand. Oh. It feels like I'm always on alert back at the mansion. Can't relax in my own house. It's actually kind of funny. Sorry, that was inappropriate of me. I just thought since the sun's mostly blocked out, it would be alright if... I'm feeling just fine. Ah. Yes, awkward conversations. Of course, I get her out of the house and I can't even think of anything to say. Hey, yes? Have you settled into life at the mansion? I have. Everyone has been such a big help. That's good to hear. Indeed. So, yes? Nellie told me you helped redecorate her room some time back. Ah, yes, that was shortly after I arrived. What of it? Yeah, that day Nellie told me... Oh, here we go. That you don't... I don't... Never mind, sorry, it's not important. Oh, come on, just ask, man. It's important, but I can't just ask how she feels about me. That would make it sound like I'm desperate because you are. Forget sound like, I do, don't I? Lord Mell? Oh, sorry, I had something on my mind. It looks like it might rain again today. The weather usually gets better as summer approaches, not worse like it has been. It won't be a heavy storm though. No? The wind is too gentle. I can tell from that. Vaguely, but yes. Ah, that's impressive. I often leave the house unprepared, only to find myself sloshing back in the rain. You laugh a lot more than you used to. Do I? Yeah, and I like that. You look better with a smile on your face. The smile suits Lady Nellie much more than I. What? Her smile and your smile are completely different. Also, a smile suits you as well, Lord Mell. Do you really think so? What am I supposed to do in the face of a smile like that? So, yes? Knowing her, if I ask if I'm posing, she'll say no without hesitation. I can't cover myself isn't going to get me anywhere. Hold on a second. I never did get you those flowers like I promised. There was a single white rose blooming in the garden. I was planning to give it to you, but it disappeared before I had the chance. Crap. He's asking about that. So, I'd like you to have this. It's not a real rose, but it won't wilt either. Aye. Mell was holding an ornamental white rose. It was an impressively detailed replica of the real thing, crafted by an incredibly skilled artisan's hand. It was, I imagine, made by the same craftsman from whom Mell had ordered Nellie's birthday necklace. The young man, who had but a handful of days earlier had said he had no sweetheart, had come in to commission a present for a girl. The master of the shop must have been quite surprised, or perhaps it had given him a good laugh instead. It was for this moment that he so desperately sought for time together with the white-haired girl. I don't know what you like, so I had to base it on my sister's tastes. Aye, my apologies. Cannot accept this. Is the design not to your liking? No, it's just... If you're concerned about how much I paid for it, don't be. I just want you to have it, that's all. Please. Why are you so kind to me? Why? Because... I'm sorry, I can't accept it. A clear glint of flustered panic was visible in her red eyes. There is not a girl in the world whose heart would not flutter at the sight of the sparkling rose accessory. But her reaction was far from delight. As a matter of fact, there were traces of fear and apprehension in her countenance. I beg your pardon. Hold on. With a look of distress on her face, the white-haired girl made to run off, but Mell grabbed her by the arm in the nick of time. At least, tell me why. Is it because you dislike me? I never said. Something's wrong with me. From the day you arrived at the mansion, it's like I haven't been myself. I've been strangely a flutter ever since then. Whether I try to study or whether I try to read, none of it sticks. I'm just looking at pages of text, tracing rows of letters, only for them to disappear as soon as I look away. It's all because of you. I'm blaming you for my lack of studying. Truly, I'm sorry. Please, don't be any more generous than you already have. When I'm with you, my willpower wavers. What do you mean by that? I'm so sorry. Ah, wait! Mell's grip loosened for a moment, allowing her to slip free and dart off like a gust of wind, not giving him a chance to stop her a second time. The dumbfounded flaxen-haired boy stood frozen in place, left all by himself. The breeze, which the white-haired girl had called gentle earlier, felt faintly chilly, almost as if mocking him. Looks like she's even less fond of me than I thought. God, I'm crying. Pathetic. Ah, it's okay. I know that. What the fuck? Priest has just randomly appeared. Well, if it isn't Mell, what might you be? Are you crying? I'm so pitiful. Sorry you had to see this. Think nothing of it. I passed by a girl just a few moments ago. She appeared to be rather distressed as well. Something happened between the two of you. I wasn't good enough, it seemed. Not good enough? That was the new maid I was telling you about before. I was, like you said, Father, I was keen on her. Wait. Enough to bring me to tears like a miserable child. But she rejected me. I don't even have what it takes to be a stand-in prince. Mell. I apologise for complaining to you about that. I'm completely hopeless. Mell. Please don't try to cheer me up. I don't need any sympathy. I just... No, Mell. Listen to me. What? I've seen that girl before. What do you mean? But, you said she was a servant at your house, right? In which case? Yes, she is. Please tell me, Father. Where did you see her? Why must you be so evasive? It was probably someone else. Someone else? You're saying you mistook someone who stands out as much as her? Father. She, and a man who I assume is her father, paid a visit to the church once. They came asking for food, their clothes in tatters. The two were emaciated. I don't think they were eating daily. What? Wait a minute, are you saying she's a beggar? The father said she came from an esteemed house. Which is why I said I might be mistaken, Mell. She has a singular aspect, but it's possible there is another girl who looks similar. Deep down, though, the priest surely believed the opposite. And so he said sternly, like teacher to a pupil, "But you must be absolutely certain, Mell. Understood? You cannot proceed any further without knowing her ancestry." "May I visit the church, Father?" "By all means." In the back of Mell's mind, a vision of the night of the storm, the night the white-haired girl arrived at the mansion, was surely replaying. She had been wearing little more than rags and covered in grime, hardly the appearance of a respectable young lady of class. Have I been putting her through unnecessary stress? She actually turns out to be nameless, rankless. No matter where she comes from, my heart has decided. I will not fool myself about how I feel any longer. No, I cannot fool myself. But how does she feel? What will everyone else think? I have to find out why she was welcomed into our house. I'll ask mother or father. No, if for some reason they don't know she isn't aristocratic, better off not saying anything. They don't. Does that mean she's been lying to us? And to them? I have to find out. This time I must get answers. No, absolutely not. You come back and the first thing you say is that? I hate you, father. I will not stand for it. Ah. Why? Why would you just suddenly throw that on me? You didn't even ask for my opinion. No, I won't do it. I'm fine the way things are. I'm just fine. Dear Mell, I need your help. I don't want to get married. Ooh. Ooh. And on that note, I think I'm going to pause it there. I'm gonna leave it there. Let me just. Ooh, shit. Oh right, okay. Damn, I got a fright there. What was it? Oh right, if I click, it shows just the background. Let's save this. That gave me a bit of a fright. We'll save here. The presents. Oof. Well, that was interesting. So Nellie's being forced to get married. Mell is trying to find out the background of the white-haired girl, who seems to be from a poor family. Which was, I mean, she looked like she was a beggar in the beginning anyway. Maybe the maid has made up a story, or maybe the father knows and he's made up a story. Who knows? But this definitely complicates stuff. Because if he's liking her and wants to marry her, not gonna happen if she's like poor, because old times. Oh, I don't think things have changed that much since then. We'll get people a bit like that. It's like, oh, you're this type of person? Yeah. But yeah, this is getting interesting. This is the plot thickens, as they say. So yeah, that was the fate. The house in Fata Morgana. I always forget the name of this. And I'm Ash Mannix. I will hopefully see you next time. Bye.